Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Sunday, 4th of June 2023. Every year on 4th June, the United Nations International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression is observed to raise awareness about the children who have suffered a lot throughout the world and are victims of physical, mental, and emotional abuse. Also on this day, Kabir Das Jayanti on 2023, Kabir Das Jayanti is celebrated to commemorate the birth anniversary of Kabir Das every year. People celebrate this day on Purnima Tithi full moon in the month of Jaisatha. He was a great poet and a social reformer of Bhakti period. Kabir Das Jayanti is going to be celebrated on 4 June 2023. So, starting the newspaper analyst with the newspaper The Hindu states that CAG's 2022 report on derailments in Indian railways flagged multiple shortcomings. The auditors found that there were shortfalls ranging from 30 to 100% in inspections by track recording cars and idling of track machines owing to various reasons. People walked past the site of the train accident in Odisha's Balasore district on June 3, 2023. The Hindu newspaper also states that Rajnath Singh set to host United States-German leaders for defense deals. United States Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin and German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius will be in India early next week for bilateral talks with the Defense Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh. Boris Pistorius likely to interact with the defense startups during an event in New Delhi. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius and United States Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin will be in India early next week for bilateral talks with the Defense Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh. The Hindu newspaper also states that Turkey's Erdogan takes oath of office, ushering in his third presidential term. Turkey's longtime leader Recep Tayyip Erdogan took the oath of office on Saturday, ushering in his third presidential term that followed three stints as prime minister. Turkey's longtime leader Recep Tayyip Erdogan has took the oath of office, ushering in his third presidential term following three stints as prime minister. Turkey's longtime president Recep once again Tayyip Erdogan was sworn in for his third term on June 3rd. Going towards the Indian Express newspaper states that United States Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin to arrive today hold talks with the Rajnath on agenda in bilateral talks critical tech like jet engines more United States ships in India for maintenance repair. From greater cooperation on development of advanced technologies to talk on joint manufacturing of critical technologies such as indigenous jet engines for fighter aircraft and ships, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and United States Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin are set to discuss a range of bilateral issues when they meet next week, top defense officials told the Indian Express. United States Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. Indian Express also states that India proposes a global platform for technology product transfer during the health emergencies. A part of its G20 presidency, India is pushing for a $200 million corpus for digital health technologies, providing digital platforms as a public goods and converging international efforts for health emergencies in terms of prevention, preparedness and response. India is also focusing on creating a platform for converging all existing digital health initiatives so that resources are not repeatedly spent to develop similar products. Indian Express also states that NDRF was alerted by one of its own on Coromandel. Over 300 personnel of the NDRF armored with the big metal cutters, 6-cane squads and other heavy lift equipment are working at the accident site. NDRF Jawan Venkatesan NK was on board the Coromandel Express traveling to his hometown in Tamil Nadu when he heard what sounded like a bomb going off and saw a child slipping from the mother's grasp in B7 coach on Friday evening. Rescue operation underway following an accident involving a Coromandel Express, a Bengaluru Harwa Express, and a goods train in a Balasore district Saturday on June 3, 2023. At least 261 people were killed and over 900 others suffered injuries, according to the officials. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper, states that Supreme Court stays High Court's order on examining horoscope of a woman in rape case. In Allahabad, the High Court order on studying the configuration of celestial bodies in a rape case clashed with the established position of law on Saturday, with the Supreme Court suspending a judicial directive to the astrology department of the Lucknow University to analyze a woman's horoscope for ascertaining whether she is a Mangalik or not. Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud decided to take a suo motu on his own motion cognizance of the May 23rd High Court order and constituted a special bench to take up the matter. Hindustan Times also states that prescribe only generic drugs be ready for regular review, doctors told. Doctors whose performances will be regularly reviewed henceforth are to be prescribed only generic drugs to patients. The new guidelines issued by the Medical Health Department suggest doctors will be subjected to monthly scrutiny on the basis of their specialty. Patients consulted in the outpatient wing, major and minor surgeries are performed and the likes, the circular issued on Saturday's status. Hindustan Times also states that Chandrayaan-3 launches window opens from July 12. Indian Space Research Organization is chief. The launch of window for the India's third lunar mission Chandrayaan-3 opens on July 12. The Indian Space Research Organization's chief S. Somnath said on Saturday. Chandrayaan-2 was successfully launched and inserted into a lunar orbit in 2019. Going towards the economy of the country, OPEC begins a meeting that may agree further output cuts. If approved, this would take the total volume of reductions of to 4.66 million BPD or around 4.5% of global demand. United Arab Emirates Minister of Energy and Infrastructure Sohail Mohammed Al Mazouri arrives at the OPEC headquarters for a meeting in Vienna, Austria on 3rd June 2023. Develop digital platform for customers consent for promotional calls SMS try. In order to curb the menace of pesky calls and SMS telecom regulator TRAI has directed service providers to develop a unified digital platform in 2 months to seek maintain and revoke customers' consent for promotional calls and message. The absence of unified digital platform make it impossible for the telecom operators to check veracity of consents. The absence of a unified digital platform make it impossible for the telecom operators to check the veracity of consents. While starts aerial seismic survey in logistically difficult hostile area, the unappraised areas to be covered for a prospecting range from Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland to Bastar and Kashmir. Aircraft for the aerial seismic surveys to locate the hydrocarbon deposits beneath areas difficult to cover the territorially. Going towards the world news, including Odisha train tragedy, world leaders extend support to India, condole loss of lives. Israeli military says Egyptian police officer kills 3 soldiers in gun battle at the Egyptian border. Narendra Modi to address a joint meeting of United States Congress during a maiden state visit. Going towards the science and technology, Foucault pendulum, Earth's rotation on display. The Foucault pendulum has found a new home in the recently inaugurated Parliament building of India. The pendulum features in Parliament Constitutional Gallery area. Ozone layer recovery delayed, surface ultraviolet radiation rising steady. The ozone layer is not healing as quickly as expected, leading to higher levels of surface ultraviolet radiation in recent years, according to a study. The slower recovery of stratospheric ozone is largely unexpected, the lead authors said. The ozone layer is not healing as quickly as expected, leading to higher levels of surface ultraviolet radiation in recent years. Breast cancer, a drug shown to reduce recurrence risk. Even when the disease is caught early, breast cancer recurrence is relatively commonplace, and for survivors, the prospect can be daunting. Ribociclib is already widely approved around the world as it has previously shown benefit for the people with the metastatic breast cancer. A drug developed by a Swiss pharmaceutical maker Novartis reduced this risk by a quarter in large group of early stage survivors of the most common type of breast cancer. India urges G20 countries to join vaccine research collaborative in a wake of COVID vaccine inequity. Some countries receive COVID vaccines only 18 months after they were available elsewhere, exposing the gaps in global vaccine policies. India working with the PATH and CEPI on a proposed collaborative. Indian Health Minister Mr. Mansukh Mandavia says. At last, there is a famous quotation said by Rabindranath Tagore, whose birth anniversary is 7 May 1861 up to 7 August 1941, was a Bengali poet, writer, playwright, composer, philosopher, social reformer, and a painter. He reshaped Bengali literature and music as well as Indian art with the contextual modernism in the late 19th and 20th century. Author of the profoundly sensitive, fresh, and beautiful poetry of Gitanjali, he became in 1913 the first non-European and the first lyricist to win the Nobel Prize in Literature. Tagore's poetic songs were woven as a spiritual and mercurial. However, his elegant prose and magical poetry remain largely unknown outside the Bengal. He was fellow of the Royal Asiatic Society, referred to as Bard of the Bengal. Tagore was known by the sobriquets Gurudev, Guru Gobi Guru, and Biswa Kobi. Mr. Rabindranath Tagore says a famous quotation. He says that everything comes to us that belongs to us if we create the capacity to receive it. Okay, thank you.